Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we are jumping into a topic that is just absolutely crucial right now. We're looking at the massive wave of AI disruption coming our way. But we're not just going to talk about economics or stock prices. Instead, we are diving deep into the psychology of it all. We're going to unpack Tony Robbins' blueprint on how to psychologically survive and actually thrive in this new AI era. So let's get right into it.
Tony Robbins hit the nail on the head when he said, "Jobs are not just money. Jobs are meaning." And honestly, that sets the perfect stage for our deep dive today. This explainer is really about human identity. Think about it. For centuries, we have tied our deepest sense of self-worth to our daily labor. So, what happens when that goes away? Well, here is our roadmap for figuring that out. We'll start with number 1, the great AI disruption, and then move into the coming psychological crisis. Number 3, we'll break down the 6 human needs, and then pivot to solutions with mastering pattern recognition, avoiding cognitive offloading, and finally, your roadmap to thriving. Okay, kicking things off with part 1, the great AI disruption. This is a civilization-level paradigm shift. Now, whenever people talk about AI, you'll usually hear them say, well, the Industrial Revolution displaced jobs too, and we turned out fine, right? But artificial general intelligence, or AGI, is a totally different beast. See, historically, technology like a tractor replaced a shovel. It enhanced human productivity. AGI, on the other hand, threatens to completely replace both cognitive and physical labor and do it at a near-zero marginal cost. This is a massive shift. It creates huge wealth for capital owners, but threatens to drive labor demand and human wages literally down to zero.
And look, if you're feeling totally overwhelmed by all of this, you are definitely not alone. 12,000. That is the staggering number of new AI tools and updates that dropped in just one recent 6-month window. I mean, most of us can barely handle updating our phone's operating system, let alone keeping up with all that. The lightning speed of this change is exactly why feeling a sense of vertigo right now is totally 100% normal.
Which brings us to part 2, the coming psychological crisis, and exactly why universal basic income simply isn't going to be enough to save us.
Tony Robbins gave a really stark warning about the second-order consequences of mass job displacement. He said, "That's suffering at the highest level. If I am a coder, I am a truck driver, and I lose who I am." See, financial safety nets like UBI might become absolutely necessary just to keep the lights on. But a government check doesn't solve the severe emotional suffering, the loss of dignity, or the potential social unrest that comes from losing your core identity. If you spent 20 years being the best truck driver or the absolute smartest coder and a machine replaces you overnight, money doesn't give you your pride back.
To really grasp why this hits us so hard, we need to look at part 3, the 6 human needs, and decode our core driving forces.
Robbins uses this brilliant behavioral psychology framework based on 6 fundamental human needs: certainty, variety, significance, love and connection, growth, and contribution. Every single behavior or decision you make, good or bad, is ultimately driven by a deep desire to meet these specific needs. But here's the crucial distinction. The first 4, certainty, variety, significance, and love and connection, are foundational. Everyone finds a way to meet these, even if they resort to negative behaviors to do it. But those last 2, growth and contribution, those are spiritual needs. Robbins emphasizes that lasting, genuine fulfillment only comes from those final 2. You can get significance by tearing someone down or getting a flashy job title, sure. But true happiness demands that you are actively growing and contributing to something much larger than yourself.
And this is exactly where the AI crisis hits us hardest. Think about certainty. If your certainty comes from having a stable, predictable career path, AI's rapid evolution completely shatters that predictability. Now think about significance. If your pride comes from being the smartest person in the room or having a really tough technical skill, what happens when an AI vastly outperforms your human intelligence? If we rely entirely on our jobs for our certainty and our significance, this transition is going to absolutely break us psychologically. So how do we actually fight back? That brings us to part 4, mastering pattern recognition, the human advantage.
The absolute core skill you need to stay relevant long-term is pattern recognition. Now, yes, at its core, AI is the ultimate pattern recognition machine. It's an incredible tool, our ultimate tractor for leverage.
But the real magic happens when humans use their own pattern recognition. We have the unique advantage of applying those patterns to strategy, to empathy, and to a deeper purpose. If you can spot shifting patterns in the market before everyone else, you unlock massive asymmetrical risk-reward opportunities. You use the AI to build new wealth and opportunity instead of just frantically reacting to what the machines are doing.
But there's a pretty dangerous trap we need to avoid. Let's look at part 5, avoiding cognitive offloading.
Cognitive offloading is essentially the act of allowing technology to think and create for you. Experts like Stephen Kotler and Peter Diamandis warn that our brains are basically efficiency engines. They want to save energy at all costs. Think about how cell phones made us forget our best friend's phone numbers, or how GPS made us completely forget how to navigate our own cities. That's cognitive offloading. If you let AI do your thinking and creating from scratch, the machine gets smarter while your own cognition and creativity rapidly deteriorate. You have to do the heavy lifting first and then use AI as a feedback loop to improve your work. Don't let it replace your brain.
And that leads perfectly into our final section, part 6, your roadmap to thriving. It is all about choosing adaptation over obsolescence.
Robbins gives us a really pragmatic, actionable roadmap for the next decade. Step 1, get brutally honest about your current skills and what you've been avoiding. Step 2, build daily state management rituals to prime your mind and body for uncertainty. Step 3, partner with AI as a coach and a multiplier, absolutely not as a crutch. And step 4, align your work with a deeper purpose. Remember, pain might drive short-term change, but only purpose drives long-term growth. AI can automate your daily tasks, but it can never automate your mission to contribute to others.
To actually execute on that roadmap, you have to keep Robbins' philosophy on peak performance in mind. Emotion is created by motion. Your comfort zone isn't comfortable, it's familiar. He constantly stresses that building resilience and maintaining a high physical and emotional state are non-negotiable if you want to thrive under massive uncertainty. If you find yourself paralyzed by the future, you have to literally, physically move your body, break those familiar patterns, and force yourself into growth.
So I'll leave you with this final provocative thought. In a world where machines have all the answers, what questions will you choose to ask? The AI revolution isn't just some tech milestone. It is the ultimate psychological test for humanity. Don't just sit back and wait for the world to adapt around you. Challenge yourself to lead your own evolution rather than be led by it. Find that deeper purpose, use the tech to scale your impact, and focus heavily on those uniquely human qualities that a machine could never replicate. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I will catch you in the next one.